Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning. Just kind of rolled out of bed, got my coffee, got the old Gen X toupee on because I didn't want to comb my hair this morning. So I thought I would make a video on how to, the very basics on how to build a preset using snapshots. Because somebody posed an interesting question to me the other day, and it's something that I never really thought of or even considered. So I thought I would go through it and just try to clarify maybe certain things on when you're building a preset using snapshots, just kind of how they behave and just a step by step on how to program things, okay? So we're on snapshot 1. This is a brand new preset. One thing I like to do, I like to turn on my input gate and set it somewhere between negative 60 and 65 or 66. Let's just pick an amp and a cab, just for demonstration purposes only. Placate or dirty is a solid choice. Turn off that fat switch, and we'll see where we are. Okay. And we're done. Just kidding. We'll go and add a reverb block at the end. Dynamic Hall is awesome. See where we are. All right, so let's pretend that you spent a whole bunch of time on your core sound, all right? So what I would do at this point is, and you want to use this for everything, like every preset. I would save it as whatever you like. And what I do is I keep a folder right on my desktop. So I would just come over here, click, and just drag it right into that folder and just keep it right there. So then if you ever want to, use it for something else, you can just drag and drop right into your user 1 presets here, okay? So that's snapshot 1. So now we're going to go to snapshot 2, and we're going to start building. We're going to start adding things. So let's just add a distortion block, okay? We got the Minotaur just to give us a little lift. I can hear my thing clipping just a little bit, so I'm going to drop the channel volume. My apologies. Okay, snapshot 2. All right, we've added our distortion. Snapshot 3, let's add a chorus. Okay. I like the 4-voice chorus. And snapshot number 4. Let's say I don't want the chorus on. Click that off. And snapshot number 4, I'm going to add a delay. Okay? And we're keeping this all on one line just to keep it nice and simple so we can understand it. All right? So the issue that this person was running into was that they were taking their initial core tone snapshot and they were cutting and pasting it to the following snapshots, so thinking that they had to do that and then building on there, but then they would go back to their original and they're like, oh my God, all these effects are turned on. All this stuff that I've added, it's overwritten my initial snapshot. And that's kind of just the way it works. So you do have to backtrack and tell Helix what you want on and what you don't. Okay? So let's just say we want this to be our raw amp sound. We're on Snapshot 1. I do have to go in here and turn these effects off, because otherwise, how is Helix going to know? Okay? So we're on our raw amp tone. Snapshot 2. All these effects are on again. You have to specify what you want on. Let's just say I want just my distortion block on. Okay, Snapshot 3. They're all on again, but I want my distortion and my chorus. And Snapshot number 4. Oh, my chorus is off because I did specify before I went and added this delay that I wanted this off. So you do have to go in as you're building the preset and make sure you turn things on and off. The way I think about snapshots, you have to just pretend like it's a pedal switcher where there's loops, and like every time you add something, just pretend it's on all the time unless I bring it in and out of the signal chain. You do have to specify. There's a little bit of programming involved, but this isn't super complex things. It's not like it's overriding your initial core tone, your initial snapshot. It's just you're adding things. So you have to tell Helix, do I want it on or off in the following presets? Does that make sense? Because yeah, it's just something that I kind of just, didn't even think about, as I was building. But I think what was happening was this particular person was using like cut and paste to copy his original tone onto all the snapshots, and you don't have to do that. Once when I set my amp and my raw foundational tone, it's going to be on all 8 snapshots, whether you tell it to or not, because Helix is just going to assume, oh, you've added this, I'm going to put it on all your snapshots, and unless you tell me to turn it off, I'm not gonna. So try not to get too lost in the minutia. Is kind of the idea here. Just go through it step by step. I mean, and this didn't take me that long. We're at like 8 minutes, 7-8 minutes. I've been in this, and we've already programmed 4 snapshots with the effects that I want. Yeah, I didn't really tweak that much, but it's really not that difficult. You just have to go through step by step and make sure you have the things on and off that you want, so you can, you can mix and match things. Like, let's say I wanted my reverb off and my distortion on for that nice tight sound, but then snapshot 1, my reverb's on and my distortion's off to make that more loose kind of rhythm sound. So yeah, you just have to specify for everything, because otherwise Helix is just going to assume that you want it on all the time. So I hope this makes sense to everybody, and hope this kind of clarifies certain things. There's no reason to cut and paste snapshots or effects hardly ever. I mean, I shouldn't say hardly ever, but unless you really want to clone something, if you're running maybe multiple instruments or things in stereo, you might want to clone your delays, or a cabinet with mic placement. You might want to clone things and put things on separate lines. But a lot of times the cutting and pasting thing just isn't necessary. You do, when you're working on the face of the unit, if I wanted to move this reverb, let's say I have it set perfectly and I want it down on the second line, you do have to cut and paste it on the front of the unit, but the nice thing about HX Edit is you can just click and drag and it'll lift it over to the next one. It kind of does the cut and paste thing automatically. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this all makes sense. And, thanks to whoever it was that posed the question. It's something that I just don't think about very much. But, if one person asked it, then there's probably other people that wanted to ask that question too. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something. Please give me a like and a subscribe. And you have a good day. Take it easy, everybody.